Hi, I'm John.
Beth, Christina, Pam, Kim.
Mike?
All right. Have you guys ever looked at the ingredients on the back of your favorite food or drink and ever wondered what the ingredient was or why it was even in there? Many people go to the grocery store and don't really look at the ingredients, or they do and they just don't know what it is that they're looking at. Some of those ingredients are natural flavors, food dyes, and artificial sweeteners. Some of the food dyes that a lot of you might be familiar with are red 40, yellow 2, blue 2, yellow 5, so on. There's so many. Red 40 is the most popular food dye that is added into our foods that people like you and maybe some of your friends consume on a daily basis. Foods like cereals, protein powders, candy, gum, ice cream, and the list just goes on. They're even in some of your medicines. So red 40 has been shown to cause hyperactivity in children, unfortunately, because a lot of kids eat these snacks, after school or at their homes, whenever. And once those kids in these studies were taken off of red 40, you could see that their hyperactivity had decreased tremendously. Red 40 also causes IBS, skin irritation, causes migraines, watery eyes, sneezing, and again, the list just goes on. And that's for children and adults. Yellow and blue dyes are not as high on the list when it comes to, health issues and things of that nature like red 40. However, they do have their own health concerns. Yellow dye is also in your gums, also in anything you think yellow, like your yellow M&Ms. Yellow 5 was found to cause hypersensitivity in rats and other animals, as well as it was found to have cancer-causing chemicals. And then blue 2 was found to cause kidney tumors in mice. Then your next thing that you might see on the ingredient list is artificial sweeteners. So artificial sweeteners are added to a lot of your sugary sodas and things of that nature to make them low calorie because they are much sweeter than sugar. So much less is needed in these things. However, they do have health concerns just like everything else. Some of those are erythritol and aspartame. Erythritol is also a really bad gut ingredient, I should say. Erythritol is added in a lot of no-calorie sodas like Coke Zero, Mountain Dew Zero, even in some of those healthier options that you might find. Aspartame is found in gum a lot of times and was very talked about for the longest time. So a lot of companies took it out of their foods. However, it did seem to cause a lot of issues like stroke, heart disease, heart attack, and things of that nature. Dr. Hazen, he is a preventative cardiovascular specialist, and he found that it wasn't the erythritol or aspartame that was being used in the products, it was just the dosage that was actually in them. Erythritol, funny enough, is actually something that our bodies naturally make, but it's just in a very low dosage in comparison to what's used in all of our foods. I'm going to actually show you really quick on this slide where you can kind of see it. It's very blurry because the image was hard to find. But this is kind of where you would see it. This is actually on a can of a Celsius. If you've ever heard of that drink, a lot of people think it's a healthy fit drink, but this is just an example of where you can find it. And then our next thing is natural flavor. Again, it's found in Coke Zero. It's found in a lot of things, and people think natural flavor, oh, it must be good for me. So natural flavor by the FDA is actually made of anything that is naturally derived from something else. So it could be an animal, it could be a plant, it can be fruits, veggies, anything of that nature, all compiled into one. However, there is no legal document or requirement needed from these companies to say what exactly is in that product. So you could be eating something that says natural flavor, but it could really have, poultry in it or something like that. So a lot of consumers are concerned because if you have allergies or maybe you have religious beliefs where you're against eating certain things, you might actually be consuming them without really even knowing it. So if you're allergic to strawberries, and you have that in there, you might have a problem on your hands. Um, Natural flavor is also added in, trying to remember the name of it. It was in something that I ate recently and drank. I believe it was a Zevia drink. And I know some of us here might drink those thinking that they're better, and it still is a better option. But just something to think about when you're eating or drinking something. Um, and then, like I said, a lot of consumers, they don't really think to look at the ingredients or anything like that when you're in the store, or really bat an eye when it comes to those things because you're just trying to do the right thing. But that's why I'm here, and I hope that I informed you guys a little bit more on some of the ingredients that maybe you find in your products, like the sweeteners, natural flavor, and all of the dyes. Thank you.